Okay. If you don't mind, we'll get started right now. If you have never been here before, this is the ELP lecture series. Thank you very much for coming. I'm Marcos Benavides. I'm the coordinator of the lecture series. This is our 19th lecture. We've done many of them, usually 2 or 3 each semester, and they're all online. So if you want to go online to elpweb.com, you can actually watch all of the previous lectures. Might be a good way to practice your English. The lectures are all on different topics, topics that we find interesting in our life away from being a teacher. Although sometimes it connects with being a teacher. I would like to introduce John today. John Gorham is a teacher in the ELP, and he's interested in technology. He has done a master's in educational technology, so he's going to be talking today about virtual and augmented reality and other kinds of realities, I suppose. John comes to us from the Obiding Middle School and High School, junior high school and senior high school at Obiding, and he's been teaching in Japan for how many years?
Going on 8 years now.
8 years.
Yeah.
But it's his first year in the ELP, so we're happy and proud to have him here presenting today on virtual technology. So let's give him a
Very happy to be here to talk with you guys, and good to see some familiar faces as well. Thank you very much for coming out. First of all, have you tried the app for Pokemon Go? Who's tried this app here? I see a lot of hands coming up. A few people are like, oh my god, no, I haven't tried it. But that's what augmented reality is. So that's the very basic version of augmented reality. And so it's information that is overlaid or put into your real world. And so with this sort of Pokemon Go, they got so many people that started to use this application. And you would see people walking around trying to catch Pikachu early in the morning, and kids would gather late at night as well to try and use this app. So that's augmented reality. And what we're getting is bigger and better versions, where you will actually put a whole headset over your face, and it'll be a screen that you could see through, and it will have information that you can use in everyday life. So that's kind of a very short version of augmented reality. But with virtual reality, you actually put a headset onto your face that covers your face, and you are put into a new environment. You're immersed or put into a brand new world that is computer generated. So it is made by a computer, and it's not a real environment. It's not a real world, but it's a computer generated environment. So at the end, if everyone has a smartphone, and I'm assuming a lot of you guys do, at the end of this, we will actually get a chance to try some 360-degree video. If everyone has the YouTube app on their phones, I've got a few different headsets that we can use. This is the low end, the low cost version. It's the Google Cardboard that you would put over your face, and you can try it out for yourself. So we'll get to that near the end. But what I would like to explain to you guys is a little bit more about virtual reality and augmented reality. And I don't want to lose you guys right off the bat, but there's something that I'd like to talk with you guys about that is embodied cognition. And it's like how we learn, how our minds are connected to our bodies. All right, and with embodied cognition, our brains, we are always predicting what will happen next. We're always trying to find out what will happen next. And grammar is a very good way of describing this, because we're always trying to predict or guess what someone will say next. Okay. And that is a very, very brief, I don't want to go too far in depth about embodied cognition here. It's a very, very brief explanation there. And I'll go through a couple of quotes here, one from Aristotle, very famous philosopher. For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn them by actually doing them. And I don't know if anybody knows Seymour Papert or has heard of him. But he once said, "I'm convinced that the best learning takes place when the learner takes charge." So again, by physically doing something, you will learn how to do something. You will learn how to do that task. Now, I will go through these slides very quickly. So if you have any questions, it's okay to please ask. You can stop me and you can ask questions. It's okay. Now, with virtual reality, which I said is a computer generated, it's made by computers. It puts someone inside of an environment. It's a little bit different than 360-degree immersive video and photography. So I personally got into shooting virtual tour photography about 10 years ago. And this is, I'll go through very quickly some of the pictures that I've shot here. This is in Yosemite Valley in California. And I found that you could take these images and turn them into very interesting artwork. And now, if you fast forward 10 years, we've now got these headsets that you can now go through the computer screen. Now you're actually inside this new environment right here. And here we've got President Obama taking a virtual tour, a virtual walkthrough of the Yosemite Valley in California. Now, do we have any Star Wars fans? A few Star Wars fans? Okay, well we've got R2-D2 and unfortunately right next to Chewbacca right there. And so these images are at first these circular images, and you had to put them together on a computer. And it took a lot of time. It took almost an hour to put together one virtual tour image. But in the end, it comes out and it looks like one panoramic image. And you can help to put somebody inside of this environment. It's another picture of a flight simulator. And the reason why why I used to shoot some of this virtual tour photography was to help people that could not get inside of a place. For example, someone in a wheelchair could not go inside of the Museum of Science and Industry to see a German submarine. So you could place this person inside of the environment. And it can also be used for kind of silly pictures. Some of you might have seen OK Go in some of their viral videos. And I'm not sure if anybody knows Tom Hanks. Okay, and again, if we go forward now, I told you about how it took a lot of time to put together some of these images. Now we have these cameras that are about the size, or same size as your cell phone, and you can take one picture and it will create the circular image immediately. And it will also do video as well. So these are some of the consumer grade cameras. You can buy these at Yodobashi Camera, Big Camera, they're available as well. And now we've got some that are more expensive, used for creating things like Google Street View. And I'll go through these very quickly. Now we jump into something that has GoPro cameras, and we have 16 of these all together. And it's all taking in this information and creating one circular image. And very soon we'll start to see these cinema grade VR cameras. So with these things here, I showed you how I used to take one picture and I had to turn the camera around and shoot another picture, extract, take those pictures out and put them together on a computer. Now we have something that will do that in real time, all at once. So this is a very short video that we have on the set of Bahubali. Okay, and we're going to take a look here. And you'll see that you can look to the left, right, up and down. And this is the director taking us through his set.
Tester boys. Good. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Rajmani, this is a special guest. I just invited him.
Okay, the special guest, producer's friend. Okay, you're allowed then. Come along. Actually, you are one of the very few people.
So you can look back and you can see all the blue screen that's going on, the dolly.
It's actually a palace courtyard. We somehow named it City Center and the name got stuck. So you are one of the few people allowed to come into the set. We are actually shooting a very, very important sequence in the film today for the next 1.5 weeks. I wish I could tell you more, but that man is already looking seriously at me. You will not allow me to tell you what it is.
So, and now we're going to see some of these cameras that are, yes?
So that was on YouTube right now?
Yes, that is
and
on
you were
YouTube.
playing it and moving around?
So if we want to go and see that same video, it is on YouTube, and you can use your cell phone. Yes, exactly. You can pick up your cell phone. You don't even need a headset. You could do this on your own iPhone or whatever smartphone you have, and you can literally turn left, right, look up and down. But when you're on the train, you might look kind of strange doing that. Okay. So now, what this Horizon report is saying is that we're going to we'll see some of the virtual reality and augmented reality inside of colleges and universities very soon. I don't want to go too deep into this, but we've got one of the very first head-mounted displays from Harvard University. And then we've got another one that was from Nintendo's Virtual Boy in 1995. And this thing did not go over, this thing did not, it was not accepted very well because the hardware, this was not able to, it was not able to show the user exactly a good virtual environment. So nobody bought this thing. And we've got a very strange looking movie right over here, The Lawnmower Man. I don't know if anyone's ever seen this movie, but this is some of the examples of how virtual reality was brought into, they were trying to bring this into mainstream. Now, we're still at this point where not many people have these, they're called head-mounted displays, or not many people have these things at home, but we're getting to the point where very soon things like the Oculus Rift. This is one of the newer ones right here that's owned by Facebook. We've also got the HTC Vive. And coming straight from Japan, we've also got the PlayStation VR. So this is probably the most expensive, on down to one that is the seemingly most affordable right here. And these are very high quality, and when it says HMD, head-mounted displays. So you put this over your head, and now we have the ability to feel like you're inside the environment. And I don't want to go too far into why these are high quality. But we also had, even today, Microsoft they announced that they have a head-mounted display that is becoming more affordable. So more people can buy these. The one that I showed you earlier was about $600, and now we've got one that was announced today by Microsoft for around $300. Apple, they are having a new conference that's going on tomorrow. So we'll find out. Maybe Apple will come out with a new display as well. And their head CEO, Tim Cook, said, very soon, augmented reality will be everywhere. We'll start to see these things all over the place. Google now has something called the Daydream that's coming out next month. And we've also got the Samsung Gear VR. These ones cost around $80 to $100 right here. This is the one that I just showed you earlier. And I'll let you guys have a chance to try these out. If you want to use your own smartphones, we can take a look at some YouTube videos if you like. So if you guys have your smartphones and you want to see one of these 360-degree videos, there's a very good YouTube channel that's called 360 Video. So if you guys want to try that out, and I'll keep rolling. I'll keep going through some of these slides. But if you guys want to, we can of course take a look at some of these. So Google recently announced that this is no longer a pioneer program, but it's called Expeditions. You can now take someone virtually into Chichen Itza in Mexico. You can take someone underwater, all right? And they're saying that they can, it's an excellent way to teach children. It's an excellent way to tell people about the world as well. We've also got some of these low-cost ones, and if anybody wants one of these cost around 2,000 yen, about $20 right here. They're a little bit better than this cardboard right here, but they're not as good as the Sony PlayStation or the Oculus or the HTC Vive. So of course, if anyone wants to try this as well, I will set these out for everybody here later on. Again, I don't want to lose you guys here, but I want to talk about some of the applications for virtual reality here. And recently, there was for Auschwitz during World War II, some of the Nazi guards, they were not prosecuted. They were not sent to jail. And recently, a group of people made a virtual environment of Auschwitz, this World War II concentration camp. And prosecutors, lawyers, were used to put these Nazi guards in jail. Now another application here, we've got here, this is a very short video from Sir David Attenborough, and he is hosting a museum that will take from the Museum of Sydney, where you can actually go underwater here. So we'll take a quick look here.
So
Virtual reality is where you can put on apparatus. I mean, basically, it's goggles and an earphone. Feeding into each of your eyes are images. Then suddenly you realize that with virtual reality, that if you hear a noise over there, you can turn around. And actually your eye will travel around and you will see something. And suddenly you are immersed in another world. In this unique virtual reality experience, I'm inside a state-of-the-art submersible with me as I explore the Great Barrier Reef as never before. I'm on a fantastic journey to look for the origins of life. I shall be travelling not only around the world, but back in time to build a picture of what life was like in that very early period.
So you can take someone underwater, you can take them virtually almost anywhere in the world here. Now here's another clip of how VR, or virtual reality, can be used at school. And in this
So
case,
today we're actually at a local
they're
school in
teaching math
Toronto, Canada,
using
and we're showcasing
an
VR
HTC
powered by
headset.
Radeon. We are showcasing it to students and teachers, and the experiences have been amazing.
It was an opportunity that Kelvin Lamb, who teaches computers and math and science, got us into, and he was looking for a group of enthusiastic kids, and there's nothing more enthusiastic than a group of grade 9 kids.
So what made me open to the VR demo today is that I want the kids to be able to experience VR, because we are talking about current events in the technology field, and some of their schoolwork has been about virtual reality and how that's changing the world as we know it. I can see that this can relate into the classroom, especially in things like mathematics. Drawing shapes and structures in 3D would be really helpful to understand how the system functions, as opposed to trying to hold up 3 meter sticks and showing X, Y, and Z axes.
You put the Z-axis! Z-axis!
Within 2 seconds of practice, I could pretty much represent any function that I wanted to on the board. And just being able to draw 2 different functions and see the intersection point, and then be able to rotate those around any axis you wanted, being able to visualize it that easily, that's something that I know from university. It took me a year or 2 to visualize that and fully comprehend it. So if they could do it in a class or 2, I mean, they're already going to be 10 steps ahead of their teachers that had to do it the old school way.
I like the teachers that had to do it the old school way. What we have in this next slide here, we've got the VR First, and a company called Crytek. They are donating, or they're actually giving some of these universities, and these are they're giving some of these universities access or the ability to use some of the VR virtual reality computer software. So for our students that are going to California State University, Monterey Bay, for some of our global communication students, these are some sister campuses with Oberlin University that are actually using VR First. And they're creating, they're making new virtual environments at these schools here. Another application for this would be for artists. So anybody that is really interested in art, this is Google's Tilt Brush right here. an incredible, if anyone's ever tried these things, they have, I know here in Tokyo at Yodobashi Camera, sometimes you can try these demonstrations as well. So these are, this is for one of the headsets, the Oculus. You can get free applications for discovery. You can see some of the 360-degree photos that I mentioned earlier, and also one that's called Within. And they have amazing videos here. You can also get these for free on your smartphone as well. Okay. So let's see what we have next here. Another application is for medical students. So if you're a med student, one of the ways that we can start to learn anatomy is through virtual reality as well. Again, I want to go through these very quickly because we don't have much time. But what I wanted to explain was how quickly this technology has come about, has advanced here, and very soon we're going to have the ability to create or to make some of our own environments for free. That's all open source. Okay. Now, since we have about 10 minutes left here, I've got on my cell phone here, if anyone else is interested here, if you have a smartphone, I've got a few of these Google Cardboards that we can set up. We've also got another headset here. And what we'll do, this is on top of, we've got the Isle of Jaws right here. So this is searching for great white sharks here. So you can, this is just one example. And if you were to take your smartphone and stick it inside of here.
Would you like me to show on YouTube as you explain?
I
see up here as well.
Sure, if we can find.
Is it 360 videos, right?
Yeah, so it's 360 videos. So you'd have to exit out of there. And anyone else that wants to try these out here, I'll go ahead and slide these in. We've got about 5 different headsets. So please feel free, if you guys want to look for it. Does anyone have, I'm guessing everyone has the YouTube app on their phone. So if you have the YouTube app on your phone, you can actually bring those up, look for 360 videos. And
John, do you have to have the app?
yes, unfortunately, you have to have the app. Yeah, you do have to have the app.
Well, if you can get to YouTube, the app for YouTube.
Yeah, so the app for YouTube. Yeah, so if you have the app for YouTube, then you can actually, yes, there it is, right there. Yes. And of course, for Halloween,
You recommend one?
I would recommend the surfing one personally, but I don't want to scare anybody. And then, Marcos, you can see in here we can actually navigate left and right, up and down. And if you want to go full screen as well. Right. There we go. So on your phone, you would actually be able to turn around left and right.
pause this so we can try the...
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So we've got, if anybody here has their YouTube apps available here, Paul, you want to give it a shot here? All right. You can also adjust the lenses as well. There's already my phone inside there. Or do you want to try it? All right, here you go. So you place your phone inside and you can hit
So you don't want to look at
Yeah, you can also use it without the headset. Use it this as it is. And you can turn around. It costs about 800 yen. Yeah, so you can get these at Yodobashi camera or big camera. I think I might have one more. Okay, I got one more in here. I haven't even opened it yet. There we go. There you go. This is your Okay, so before we wrap everything up, I'm actually I'm planning on donating all of these Google Cardboards to the ELP. So hopefully we can use these headsets for possible expeditions. We might be able to go virtually visit perhaps the Great Barrier Reef, Chichen Itza, and we can also use, I'd like to introduce a little bit about, I didn't have time to talk about the augmented reality as well, of which you can use to see things coming out of, this just looks like a regular piece of paper right here. But if you have a free app that you can get on your smartphones, you can start to look at these three-dimensional objects that will come out of, seemingly out of this piece of paper right here. Marcos, do I still have a little bit of time? Or
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay. And I'll run through this very quickly here.
John, but that includes questions though, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't have much time to go into the augmented reality, but I have had to tell a lot of my students to not use Snapchat, and they start to overlay. They'll put little mustaches and things over their face here. But you know, hopefully we can continue this conversation here later on over at the ELP in the future. But do you guys have any questions for me? If not, I can continue going into, like I mentioned earlier, I know that you guys saw, a lot of you guys have probably used this application here, the Pokemon Go thing. And this is sort of the information that is put into a real world. But Marcos.
I was just curious, does this work, is Google Maps, does it use this already?
Yeah, so with it's Street View. Yeah,
Yeah.
so Street View, you can put this onto your headset, onto your phone and use it on a headset. So yeah, you can navigate the streets of, for example, London, or if you want to take someone virtually. Yes, Paul.
Is there a device that you can stand on, and then it will simulate walking without actually moving around?
Yeah, so that's kind of mixed reality. So you actually feel like you're moving through something. And
Is that going to be released in conjunction with the actual headset, you think, or will that come later?
There are those things available right now, and they're coming out with these VR arcades where you can go into, you can pay money to go in and test out these different headsets, and they'll have these mixed or blended reality as well. And if I've got just a moment here, I'd like to show some of the high-end kind of stuff we have here with the Microsoft HoloLens. And it's just 1 minute here.
Welcome, I'm Alex Gitman.
And I'm Kudo Sonoda.
Since Kudo and I started this journey together with the team into the era of holographic computing, we've been waiting for the moment when we could get this technology into the hands of brilliant, creative, and passionate people to see what you would create with it.
Microsoft HoloLens brings holograms into your real world. On March 30th, 2016, the development edition was released. And today, we take our next big step together. Today, we get to say,
welcome to the world. The world's first self-contained holographic computer is now available for developers and commercial partners in Germany, France, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, and more.
Get inspired with a visit to the App Store to discover the first wave of HoloLens experiences, apps, games, and tools for creativity, productivity, collaboration, and communication.
Today, our growing international community is already hard at work creating mixed reality tools, applications, and brand new experiences that are transforming business and showing us what is possible.
As we continue to expand the availability of HoloLens into more markets around the world, we'll also provide easy access to the tools, documentation, and developer support you need to bring your vision to life.
We vicariously live through every single other person that we meet when they put this device on for the first time and they have that first holographic experience. We can't wait to see what you create with it.
Welcome to the team.
Okay, and then finally, before we leave, we've got, this is a different one, it's called the Meta. And the CEO he's announcing he's going to throw away all of the standard kind of PCs and laptops. And pretty soon the actual computer will be on your face. And it'll be like an actual headset that you'll be able to use. And you'll be able to see holograms, and you'll be able to use your apps that you'll be able to swipe and touch and interact with. So. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go through all of these slides here and really go in depth. But do you guys have any questions at all before we leave? Yes?
Thank you for having this kind of important topic for us. And I have two questions for us. Okay. I realized I recently the life with the technology, a lot of stuff changing around our life. And I just wondering if the people can go and travel or feel a lot of stuff by ourselves, but the visual reality are changing our life a lot of stuff.
Right.
We are what can I say? How can we deal with the gap between virtual reality and our reality life? Also, the other one is if that have some bad for our health or because it's very close to our eye.
Right,
so,
right, absolutely.
Probably our eyesight will getting down for kids if the kids are really in love, or also like it's not between person to person, so probably communicate problem or getting down in the future, right? What do you think of that?
Well, I look across at PAX train riding through Tokyo, and everyone has their smartphones and they're kind of hunched over staring down at their screens. So what this is going to do, it's actually going to cause you to look up. hopefully interact. And you also mentioned children as well. So the American, I want to say the Association of Pediatrics, they mentioned that only 1 hour of screen time for young children should be allowed. And children under 2 should not have any kind of screen time at all. And I don't think there's enough there aren't enough studies that have been done to find out if this is actually going to, if this is going to be bad for your health or for your vision in the future. But I think that right now the cell phones that we have, I don't think those are good for your vision as well, to have a screen sitting right in front of your face. So we're using these all the time. So, yeah, I think that we're constantly interacting with, right now with our smartphones. And so I think that that's going to change very soon here once we start to see a lot more of these head-mounted displays. So,
another very quick question, if we have, no?
Yeah.
First of all, thank you very much for your talk. It was really interesting to hear about the different applications for virtual reality because I have only heard about it in terms of gaming. Okay. And you mentioned earlier about different gaming virtual reality as well. And it seems that because of the gap between reality and what you're seeing through the lens, if you're moving around while you're playing the game, it sounds like a safety liability, or it's very dangerous for kids, especially younger kids, because they might get really rowdy or excited while playing and, hit something or bump something because they can't see real life. So how do you think the gaming industry or the virtual reality industry will solve that problem?
That is a very good question. I think that they're going to deal with something called room scale. So you can judge how much space you have. And then there'll also be different warnings that will come out. I mentioned earlier as well, with coming back to the Pokemon Go thing, there's a warning that says, be aware of your surroundings. So it's going to change the way that we interact with information. It's going to change the way that we interact with people every day. We might see a lot more fail videos as well. People that might accidentally hit somebody or might accidentally fall down while playing these. I know we're just about out of time. There's one more that is coming out. It's called Magic Leap, and they're saying that this is actually going to. They're saying it's not augmented reality and it's not virtual reality. But with this one, I was kind of debating whether or not to actually show this slide. But this one here with Magic Leap, it's going to be a way that they overlay what you're seeing here. Here we go. Now, Google recently put almost $500 million into this company because they have that much confidence in it. So this is kind of what it's going to look like. time here, so I'm gonna kind of wrap everything up here. But that's kind of what the future of it's gonna look like. It's gonna be like wearing a set of glasses, and you'll be able to interact with your email. You'll be able to swipe things aside and interact with any kind of games, and all the information that you want right at your fingertips. So.
Wow, thank you. Very interesting talk. I guess in the future I'm going to have to be telling my students, put away your phone, wake up, come back to reality. It's a very exciting future. Thank you very much, John. And thank you very much for coming. You sounded like you still had...
No, I wanted to say that we'll definitely, hopefully, continue this conversation. Please come over to the ELP on the 3rd floor, and hopefully we can go through some more of these technologies.
So maybe during the conversation circle at lunchtime? There you go. You can try this. Okay. So that might be a good reason to come to the ELP 3rd floor anytime at lunchtime. Okay, thank you again.
All right, thank you guys. If I could grab my phone back as well. Awesome. Thank you very much. All right, cheers. Thank you.